Hi everyone, welcome to this end of year roundup for 2022 for ninjas. It might be, and samurai, so samurai and ninja history in 2022, the research we've done, the things we've done. It might be a bit of a long video, so I apologise for that, but this is more for the people who've been following me for a year, so if you stick with it, stick with it. Now, just before we move on, remember guys, once a year, just once a year, I ask for donations for December to January. So there's a link at the top for PayPal if you could send me any donations, and also above my email address. Just be careful, the email address spelling, you don't want to send it to the wrong Anthony Cummins. The spelling of my name is quite strange. I normally ask for these donations just to keep the channel going. I usually use it for things like, you know, postage, new things. I'll show you this in a bit, which we got out of it, some sword stuff. So donations like that. And I normally send out a thank you card to donators, but this year I've changed it up and I've done this, which I think you guys will quite like. So if you donate, you get my name, you'll get your name in my next book. It won't be the next book, it'll be the one after because it's too late for that. But basically, for example, we've got Alex Hammond and everybody who's donated for me books as well. We've got Andrew Ewans, Ben McCarthy, James Cody Kroll, John Hayter, Michael Strauch, Neil Hurst. We've got Pa Sullivan, Rob Ensign, blah blah blah. You know, basically I've got everybody's names in there to say, hey, they've donated. Not all of the Natori stuff. Natori people get a special card each, and I've put you guys here. But from next year, because the cards are becoming so expensive, it's now becoming too expensive to send the cards out, because Post Worldwide has gone through the roof because of the oil crisis and everything. The cards themselves, it's actually taking about 10 to 20% of my money just to send the cards back out. So I've decided to probably swap it over to getting you the sort of your name in my next book. So it won't be the next one because we've missed it, but it'll be the one after that. Okay, so this year was the year of the Book of Bushido. So if you haven't got a copy, get a copy. Next year, the book coming out is this, The Ultimate I Ching. They asked me to write this. The publisher came to me. That's why I've not done much historical stuff, guys, with the translators and everything, because I did my Book of Bushido. I've did this, which took me about a year to write, and I've now just doing another book. So this is out. This will be out in February, and I'm doing another book, which I'm writing now, which is why it's too late to put your names in, because it's going through the editing process now. And that is not even samurai, not even ninja, and not even Japanese, and not even Chinese. It's a secret book, which I'll tell you about later. So click the link, donations. Thank you very much. Keep it going. I haven't done memberships. I haven't done Patreon. I haven't done anything like that. I don't charge anything. I just hope that at the end of the year, a certain amount of you who could afford it will send a bit of money across, and it just eases the wheels a bit here, so I can get a few things without it coming out of my family money. So your family are starving, you know, they're in the sort of in a cardboard box outside a shop, and like, well, Anthony didn't feed us, he just bought samurai kit. Can't do that. So new book done, book donations, Book of Bushido. Now this year we did a collaboration with Samurai Guide to Armor, and we did a full list full list of samurai videos on samurai armor, done with collaborators like Nick from the Shogunate, Scott Sengoku Studies, Nojiri, people like that, and we've put it all together. But I did a video on that yesterday, so you should be well aware of that. I've also done the rare books, so people, especially Alex Hammond, a massive thank you to him, because he's been from New Zealand sending me books, and we're picking up that ninja collection. We're going to get the biggest collection of ninja books in the world, and we're going to hopefully by the end of my life donate it to a museum, be it the British Museum, be it the Japanese National Museum. But within about 30 or 40 years, we'll have collected it all. Pencil sharpeners, blenders, whatever they've got. Not maybe even a Kawasaki Ninja. To get a biggest ninja collection ever, send it to a museum, get it done. Now, people have asked me about the interview with Viking Samurai. I will be going on Viking Samurai's channel, and people have asked about the Stephen Hayes. Now, Stephen Hayes did respond. He's not going to do the chat with us, which is a shame, because, and if Stephen Hayes watches this, basically, it's a shame, because the idea is to talk about what we can do with ninjutsu. We all know the issue of the past, like, is this real, is it not real? What is it? What do we do with it? That's been answered many times. The question is, what do we do in the future? But I think Stephen Hayes is not going for it. But there's no reason why he should, so that's him. It's a bit of a shame, because Gaijin Goomer, or whatever it was called, he chatted to me and he said, let's do a summit, and then just gone. Let's Ask Shogo just went, and a few people said, okay, let's do something, but just don't do it. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've been talking to Krista Jacobson about this. There's been a new wave of ninja channels and samurai stuff where the history is very suspect. It's like, really? You know, people are putting up stuff like ninja sword versus samurai sword, and you're like, we got rid of that argument years ago. That's not even a thing. There isn't such a thing as a ninja sword versus samurai sword, and yet they're still going around with it. We've got, I think there was a Kyoto museum putting videos out about ninjas versus samurai. I was like, where are you getting this information from? I know exactly where I'm getting this information from. Eager Tourist Board, basically, which is still promoting the pop icon of ninja because it creates them lots of money. We did the How to Train Like a Samurai series and How to Train Like a Shinobi. They came from Natoryu, which was all really short videos, 1.5 minutes put together, and they're done on my Natori channel, but then I brought it out for you guys here. So we're up to like video 50. They don't do so well, but that's real samurai. If you don't like real samurai, you don't like real samurai. So I've had this discussion with Krista a lot. Krista's like, I'll explain Krista at the end actually with shorts and videos, because Krista's helped me a lot there. We had some new Bansen Shukai information come out of Japan where they claim a shortened version is the original version and the longer version is a later edition by somebody else who's not Fujibashi. I totally disagree with this. I think that shortened version is actually a reduced version by someone after Fujibashi. It doesn't make sense the other way around, but I've still got to get to Japan and do that. Now, I had my first sword fight at the beginning of the year. Now, just to let you know, I announced to everyone, you know, I challenge everyone who's got a Koryu certificate, show me your Koryu certificate, and let's have a friendly sparring match with tea and cake and all that. And I got one guy to do it, Chris, I think. I'm doing my name from memory. He was a great lad. And we had a spar, and it was excellent. No one else has come forward. One guy came forward and said he had a damaged hand, so he couldn't do it. But no one else has accepted the challenge. Of course, well, especially in England, I've offered it a few times, and in America, I got about 8 emails off people. But of course, they've said, if you ever come to America, if you come to like Texas, or if you come here, you know, the next time I'm walking through Texas. But the problem will be is the weight of the stuff to carry through customs is too high. It's something like, you only get 21 kilograms on a plane, I think, and that's with everything, including your luggage, your toothpaste, a lot. And I would literally have to strip it down and carry only some swords on a pair of underpants, you know what I mean? So I might be going to America in the next few years. Let's hope it happens. But I was hoping there'd be more people in England. So come on, if there's anyone in England, you know, who wants to have the sparring match, come on. And if I get to America, I'll be in Michigan. Hopefully you can all fly. If I can fly 4,000 miles to Michigan, you can all fly internally, you lazy buggers, and come to Michigan. So let's hope. But at least I proved I did the sword fight. I'm waiting for other people. I'm running out of time because I've got to edit my book. So I was going to edit a clip in here from the film Highlander where he goes, "No one will fight me. They all run away." But, you know, I don't have time because I'm rushing on my next book. So I've got to work over Christmas, boys and girls. So new Bansen Shukai. So the fight, I did my first one, really enjoyed it, looking forward to more. Come on, put your money where your mouth is, guys. Let's go. It's only a bit of friendliness. Now, I got this sword from Tiger's Den. Now, this is a 5 foot wooden sword, which I'll do a full review on that. But I got 2 of them from donations, which was brilliant. And this is because I was using Eric Shahan's translation of the pirate sword. Now I say pirate sword like that because we're not quite sure if it is a pirate manual, but basically Japanese people invading China in the late 1500s, left behind a bit of swordsmanship, and a few masters studied from them. And I'm putting it together, and we're going to bring it out to you next year, so we're doing more swordsmanship stuff. So the donations paid for that, which is perfect. And also, I'm going to be doing some Yamamoto Kansuke stuff, and I'm also going to be doing some Yagyu stuff from the I call it the Matsudaira line. It's not actually the Matsudaira line. It's the Owari line, I think. Owari line from Matsudaira, who was in the Owari line, who wrote them down in 1707, and we've been learning that. So in the background, there's 3 different sword translations going on. There's the Tachi one, or, you know, interpretations. There's the Tachi one, the Shinkagi Ryu one, and the Yamamoto Kansuke one, and hopefully I'm going to be hiring a hall in the new year and starting up. I don't know whether to start a new channel just for swordsmanship. I'm not sure. What do you think, guys? Should I start a new channel for swordsmanship? I'm not sure. Of course, I've moved from Wales, which had my beautiful log stuff, my open fires. It was gorgeous, very warm and cozy. There's only a few times I couldn't get that house warm and cozy. That was in the deepest cold. But now I live in this bloody caravan. My chest is killing because I've got smoke pumping out of the fire. It's damp, it's cold. And I've literally got a mud heap outside where we're building cess tanks and for, you know, waste and all that. We've not even got the planning through yet, and the Howard barns are still as they are. We can't really do anything. We're in frozen weather now, but we're pretty much set up to start the build next year, which means instead of 2 books a year, I'm now going to be doing 1 book a year for the next 2 or 3 years. So that's why your any donations you give, the names will have to go in the year after, because simply I'm not producing them that fast. I have to rebuild a house. So I will be living in a caravan for the next 2 years. So unfortunately, you get this background for the next 2 years. I do miss the Wales house, but my Wales house has been sold. Doesn't mean I've got the money yet. I basically have to wait for all the stuff to go through. And once it's gone through, it takes 6 months or whatever, you get the money. And all sorted. There is a post strike at the minute, so everything I send for the house sale, the bloody post in England is terrible. People have asked about Taishiru and Alex from Taishiru and the book that was meant to be coming. Basically, the book is finished, but they have gone to a few publishers. They want to find the right publisher, but they then stripped the book and they've changed it around. They've gone for more the direct translation. So this year with Alex, there's a man called Go, a man called Georgie, who's an excellent linguist, knows about 7 languages and ancient languages. Alex and myself have been doing different Skype calls and different stuff and going through the translations, and they were going to make a single book with all the bits in and everything, and they've stripped it down to just the translations, and then they might do later and in years to come a how-to. I personally think they should have done it together, but you know, it's their project, so they're going to do that. So they are talking with publishers at the minute. So the Taishiru one has gone on hold because it took a long time. They had to spend an extra year going back to the beginning, retranslating some older stuff and reconstructing the book after they'd already finished the book. So I spent a year with Alex constructing the book, and then they looked at it and thought, there's the swordsmanship, and then there's the, you know, here's the Hagakure stuff, and you know, here's our mentality stuff, here's the, you know, the Yagi stuff, and they wanted to divide that. So they went back to the drawing board and pulled everything out, and then put some new translations in and created it to a much more academic, what's the word, they brackets and everything. Whereas what me and Alex did was take a few translations and then pull out all the stuff and make it more easy, user friendly. They've gone for the very academic approach. So you may or may not like that, I'm not sure. I was doing the Shoninki Scroll playlist. I've not finished it. The videos were not doing so well, but they well enough that I will go back to it. So I started doing like the little drawings and the little stuff in the so I did these. Do you remember the little drawings and stuff from this sort of stuff? And that was a much better way of doing it. But I will finish both of them. I'll finish the Shoninki as well, so I'll do that. Now to Shorts and Krista. Okay, now I've been speaking to Krista a lot recently, and she's been helping me understand the YouTube algorithm, because at the beginning of last year, Krista was like putting the videos out, doing loads of editing, getting 200 or 300 hits. Want to go and get this sorted. So Krista paid for some courses, got everything checked, went and learned how to do YouTube algorithms, and shared that info with me. And Krista's done extremely well, going from like 200 or 300 videos, 400 views, up to sort of, I think the highest one is 70,000 or 100,000, and on Instagram I've now got 1 million view hits from doing this stuff, which sounds brilliant and it's good, and I have followed what Chris has done, but it turns out you've got to do very specific things, extremely specific things, like on this day upload at this time, on that day upload at this time, do not upload to in this, you know, you must use this language. Krista has spent hours and hours and hours making sure the language is correct and everything, matching all the tags and all that, and which is, you know, a lot of work, and it's benefited, but it's mainly shorts. Basically shorts will go up through the roof, but I find shorts terrible. I've watched shorts myself. I've got lost in the short, but it doesn't teach you anything. I've forgotten every short. I must have watched a few hundred shorts, if not 500 shorts, and I've probably just wasted my time. And they're entertaining, they're fun, but that's it, they're gone. And I think they don't entertain or, you know, do any people. I have tried it. I got one at 4,000. I got one at a couple of thousand, but I just couldn't get it. And the main reason is you have to be really strict. Like, we went through it, and if you pick ninja techniques, it won't get on the threads. It won't get on the shorts listing. But if you pick ninja technique without an S, it gets on it and you get a few thousand. It was just ridiculous. You have to check everything. So unfortunately, I've got the next book I'm doing, guys, is a colossal book. It's almost as big as the Bansen Shukai. Almost. It'll be in the ultimate guide system. It is not samurai, but I think you'll be quite pleasantly surprised when you find out what it is. Only a handful of people know. And that is going to take up another year of my time. So, but I think a lot of you might get it. I think so. I'm not sure. But it's hopefully going to be a bit of a more of a money earner for me, so we can keep this channel going. I've got to obviously build the house, so I need to branch out now and do more than... Basically, I'm not Stephen Hayes or Hatsumi in the sense that I have done more than those people, even though they did a lot. I'm not taking away from them. Hatsumi did a lot to promote martial arts. Hayes did a lot to promote martial arts in Japan. But I have really dug into the ninja and gone more than anyone has ever done in all of history. Without doubt. There is no doubt in that. I think everybody understands that. But I wasn't there for the boom. So, you know, book sales are all right, but you've got to support me, Yoshie. Then Miyako's got to have some. You've got to divide it. You don't get much from the publisher. It's not bad, but you don't get much. So, you know, to create 3 full-time wages would be... No, there's just no way of doing it. So I'm having to branch out into different things. And I hope in the future to do, maybe after I've built the house, to do 1 book on samurai, ninja, and 1 book on Western traditions, something like that, you know, something a bit more pop culture-y, and then, you know, alternate like that. And so to keep the sales going up and people recognizing my work and going around, because unfortunately samurai and ninja, as I've said, are now at their lowest peak. I mean, every year I say this, they're getting lower and lower. One, it's partly my fault. I have killed the samurai and the ninja in the sense that, come on, you know, everybody wants the fantasy, but it's like the red pill or the blue pill. You swallow one and you're like, I just don't want it anymore. I can't stick the fantasy anymore. But I found that most people take the other pill and go straight back to fantasy, which is bizarre, which means you're finding channels out there that are giving out nonsense history, absolute nonsense. 100,000 views, 400,000 views. Like I did an exact translation of Miyamoto's Musashi's Walking the Path Alone, and I went through all the little bits and everything. I got it edited correctly and everything. A couple of thousand hits. I've seen another one do it, which is just not a direct translation, just you know just a, like, you know, a sort of, I don't know, fun video. 100,000, 200,000 views. So I don't know why I can't go into that brackets, but it must be that those channels are doing what Chris are doing and all day checking. I mean, it becomes a full-time job because you're competing with full-time producers of YouTube content who are literally like producing it full time, and it's a case of, hold on a minute, you know, this is their job and they're hammering it, and it's become such a competition for that top line of videos now that people are like, they're using every algorithm secret they ever can. And that brings me on to a few people have said some daft things over this year. I mean, some stupid things, and one of them came up and said, I spoke to Anthony and said his thumbnails are crap, and he said, I do my thumbnails for me, I don't care. I never said that. I said I do the thumbnails myself and I'm not very good. And, you know, that's the best I can sort of do. And he was like, oh, right, well, you know, it's like, listen to what is being said. And then there's the other chap who constantly tells me I've done every single thing anybody has ever asked of me, every single thing except for hold. I can't hold a podcast on mobile internet and build a house and write a book and do everything else and work it all out. It's just, I did everything, including all the things Krista told me to do. I uploaded at the right time. I did this. It becomes so complicated to get views on YouTube that it's ridiculous. You can still get a viral video going. You can still get them, but it has to be outstanding. And unfortunately, nobody's interested. Like I did the video the other day, Ninja Claws and Ninja Shuriken, and it got like 700 hits. It's like Stephen Nojiri found a document that has hand claws and shuriken on the same page, and it's under criminal capture, which is something we know ninjas do, and which doesn't make them ninja tools, but it's like, wow, that is, you know, that's cool in the ninja world. 700 hits. You're like, okay, there's just no interest anymore in the ninja. And you know what? I think Obviously, there's pop interest like Naruto and other channels do, like they do a ninja video, ninja sword this, and people, hundreds of thousands of people watch it. But I've noticed they're shorts and they're incorrect. So not only are they sort of like quick, fun information, they're also incorrect. And I'm finding people who are doing longer channels, their videos are going down. I've been working alongside Nick from the Shogunate, who you all know. He doesn't do as many videos, and there's a few of his videos I've not seen that I need to catch up on, but I'm waiting till I finish this book. Scott, I've seen most of his videos because he does shorter ones, and so that's Scott from Sengoku Studies. I've got Matt Okuhara. I've not had a video of Matt Okuhara for a while, actually, and I've been putting up his in Guns and Samurai. I love putting up Matt's stuff, no problem there. Working with Nojiri, obviously, who's an old friend of mine. And he's Tada Genji. I've worked with Krista a lot behind the scenes, trying to work out what the best way to do stuff. I disagree a lot with Krista, but we still get on quite well, and she's willing to put the effort into sort of like, how can we get the ninja more and more. She's doing it her way, which is get far more subscribers and then bring out some historical stuff, which she does do. She works from Banten Shukai, she works from a lot of that stuff, but now she's gone mainly martial arts, just because, as she says you've got to sort of get the hits up to then push in the historical stuff. So it's one way of doing it. Alex Alera from Taisha Ryu, like I've spoke about. Joe Mathis, which is the art guy. We did his stuff, didn't we? We did like the art stuff, which he drew the images for the Bansen. We did 4 videos, excellent images, and I'm just ashamed they didn't do really more. They did a couple of thousand hits each, which is not loads. I still find it puzzling that I get about 500 to 1,000 views per video on every video. So there's 500 to 1,000 people watching, but yet you will not click the Nato Ryu channel and go over there because you get about 100 people watching. So it's like the 600 people who constantly watch me. Of those 500 go, should I watch Anthony's other channel with pretty much similar information, but solely for this one school? No. Why? It just doesn't. I don't get it. So, right, guys, my overall feelings are it's going to be a bit bumpy over the next few years, simply because I'm in a caravan. I come in sometimes, you see my hair's a mess and everything. I come in digging trenches and stuff like that. I dig in. Let me just quickly show you. It might be better to just show you this. But this is my life at the minute. It's a mud pit. I'm digging in there, digging trenches. You can see that was a lovely garden. That's going to be our barn, but I've got to smash bits down. There's trailers with sand stuff in. I've got water containers. It is a right mess. And the reason it's a mess is because it's not because I'm messy. I'm a very neat person, but because it's a building site out there. And yesterday, before I did my day's work on my book, I was digging in trenches and pulling pipes in and washing up liquid on pipes and trying to get it in, because the caravans still need connecting, but water's been freezing. We're at -6 and the water pipes have all frozen. Oh, it's a nightmare. So over the next couple of years, guys, it is going to be a little bit crazy, and you won't get the best videos out of me because I'm just going to be all over the place, and I only have a very, very limited time to do these videos, and I am trying to run as much as I can. But I will be hiring a hall, and I will be sort of excuse me, will be hiring a hall, and I will be doing some swordsmanship. You can see workman's hands now. Got on my typist, and I'll tell you what, I realised very quickly I love writing. I love being an author. I do wish I could get more money from it, and I'm not really a money-orientated person. I don't really care. I would love to be a multi-millionaire because I'd build a castle. I wouldn't all this, like, Ferraris and Dubai. I'd probably go on holiday once, and then I'd be like, let's build a castle. Yep, let's build a big Japanese dojo. I'd spend it all. I would spend it all. I'd have paintings made, but I'm not that interested in it. I just want enough to finish the house build, keep going, get a flight to Japan, and do all that, and buy enough more money for like antiques, get the dojo fixed. So as you guys know, we've moved here. We've got the dojo just to the right. It's a wonderful, my in-laws have given it to me. It's a structure there ready for me to use. I just need about £50,000 probably to kit it out fully as a dojo, and it'd probably be the best dojo in England, if not Europe then, and I would run courses from all over the world, and you would get amazing videos. But without that money, that's just an old shed, it's just an old it's just an old farm building which needs doing up, but it'll be very, very expensive to do, and at the minute most of the money is going on the house. So there you go. I've been up to Scotland to see friends. I've been to Cornwall on a family holiday, which consisted of me holding the dog while the girls, my girlfriend and her children, went into shops. Not the best holiday in the world. And then I'm desperate to get back to Japan. I'll be going back to Japan. I've been speaking to some shrines in Koka, one of the shrines in Koka, the guy there. We've been speaking to Yuji Yamada from Mia University. I'm just gutted I can't be in Japan. I did about 18 months before COVID, then COVID hit, so it's been 4 or 5 years, and I'm desperate to go next year, so we'll be going. I've got the money to go. I've been saving up, so it'll just be go to Japan and you know, enjoy basically life over there for a short time. But like I say, I've got more than enough books to write. I could write books for the next 4 lifetimes. Yoshie she's slowed down a lot. She's slowed down a lot because she did it for 10 years and I think it burned her. I've told you this before. So she's done all of one of the Natori scrolls and Miyoko's done one of the others. We can't mix them together. But it's mainly me. I'm not pushing it because I've just got this big book to write and then move on and then do a house build. So pushing more books is just not going to happen. So for the next 2 or 3 years, guys, it's going to be a bit of a lull in books and a bit of a crap sort of YouTube thingy. I won't, I'm going to have to stick it. As much as Chris does that, do this and do that and do that, I'm like, you've got to be there at 5 o'clock to upload this with this tag and this. I'm like, right, okay. I'm out somewhere picking up water pipe connectors, you know what I mean? It just can't be done. So I've started to relearn music, but I've just 4 months I've just stopped. Everything has gone on hold. So basically I don't get enough time in the day, guys. I get to the end of the day and I'm like, quick, do this, do that, right? Watch some crappy show, eat dinner, go to bed, get up, do it all again. That's it. Walk my dogs and all that. So I am literally just run off the feet. So once that house is done, I shall be back full-time working, sorted, because I love writing. Right, guys, that's a 30-minute video. I don't think we're ever going to change people liking the ninja unless it comes around as another boom. Basically, ninja is like... the best way to explain this is in the Natori Ryu Secret Scrolls, there is the last interview with the last Grandmaster before the school shut down, and it says Hyozaemon, who was one of the guys who wrote the Shonen, he was the grandson of Natori Sanjuro Masazumi. He said, we've gone back to do lectures at the castle. This is 1730, 1740. And he said, nobody cares about old samurai stuff. They just want to basically fight and drink and, sword, woo, shiny thing. And it's like, that's it. So he says nobody's interested in the old ways, and it's the same now. Nobody's interested in the ways of the samurai. I've done all sorts to get people interested. Unfortunately, not that much now, so I don't know. So anyway, all I can do is keep going, guys, and I will keep going as long as there's enough books sold that I can keep going and I can put food on the table. And so if you can, get yourself a copy of the book of Bushido. And of course, this next year we've got the Ultimate I Ching. And I wrote this because my publisher was like, Anthony, we want a book on the I Ching, and they're Watkins are a very esoteric label in London, and they do like all magic and stuff like that. So I said, yep, I can get you the Ultimate I Ching done. So that's that done. Right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Please donate, send a bit of cash across, and I'll put your name in a book. Looking forward to it, and I'll speak to you, and I'll see you all soon.